But let's get into the opening act topics of the week. The first, which is that the Manic Street Preachers, one of my favorite UK rock bands, have announced their new album, the Ultra Vivid Lament. Their 14th studio album is going to come out in September, on September the 3rd. They launched a new single called Orwellian. As I was saying, I'm a huge Manic Street Preachers fan, Dave, going back, I'd say about 20 years or so. I've always followed their career, and they're one of those bands, we talk about Weezer a lot on the show and how Weezer is one of those bands that still stays creative, and they also stay relevant as a band, and their new music is just as strong, or it stands up to their music of the past. And Manic Street Preachers, to me, are one of those bands as well. When I think back to the last decade of albums they put out, they've really put out a lot of strong songs that they vary between styles. Some of their songs are a little bit more punk influenced and maybe not as catchy as you would think, but then they do these huge anthemic rock songs, which are definitely some of my favorite Manic Street Preachers songs. So I'm not sure. I don't know if we really ever talked about them. Like, what's your mileage with the Manic Street Preachers?
I really like Manic Street Preachers, man. I have, they're one of those bands that at least 6 songs a record are worth checking out, and they don't get enough love over here, that's for sure. And they're one of those bands that, like you said, the variety that comes out of the band, it's they're one of those bands that are true to themselves. I always felt like, they're not doing anything for anybody but themselves, and that's kind of awesome. And that's probably why they're still around, is that they've taken that approach. And yeah, man, it's exciting. I can't wait to hear. I love hearing new singles from them. And like you said, they do those huge rock songs. Like they'll do something a little lo-fi and a little just less traditional, and then they'll do these huge pop masterpieces that are these huge like festival rockers that blow everybody away. So I'm excited. They're one of those bands that keeps evolving, keeps keeping it, like you said, keeping it fresh.
Yeah, and this new song Orwellian sounds different for them as well, because as we're saying, they have these big, huge rock songs. This one's a little bit more understated. Their last record, Resistance is Futile, had a lot of those huge songs, and one of my favorite records of them is, well, it's almost, I guess it would be 11 years old now. It came out in 2010, which was Postcards from a Young Man, which was a return to their 90s anthemic rock roots. And when you think about great guitar players, James Dean Bradfield of the Manic Street Preachers doesn't get a lot of credit for his guitar playing, but he's an incredible lead guitar player. When you listen to a lot of the Manic stuff, he's so versatile, and he can mix together really soft acoustic sounds, and then he can rip it like Slash. There's a strong Guns N' Roses thematic idea running through the Manic Street Preachers. So I'm really excited. It's been 3 years since the last record, so I'm really looking forward to it. And it's coming out on September the 3rd. It's called the Ultra Vivid Lament, and hopefully it lives up to the past Manic Street Preacher stuff. I'm pretty excited.